Hey, welcome back to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know if you're rocking with Dolph. So they got the fourth suspect, and basically that's the same dude that they were looking for with Devin Burns. This dude was the one that is always hanging around Blac Youngsta. Like, Blac Youngsta put him in one of his songs and his videos. He's in the back of it. If you pause it and look, you can see him. And that's the same dude that basically was driving around with Straight Drop, Moneybaggyo, everybody in CMG. They all know him, and basically that's why they all been getting like targeted with the questioning, because they all know that they have something to do with the whole situation from Dolph. And it all stemmed from, you know, that beef between Yo Gotti, Young Dolph, his baby mama, everything that went down for the last few years, everything that went down in Charlotte with the whole situation with the 100 shots. And including everything that happened with in LA, because it was Yo Gotti's peoples that basically got in trouble for all that stuff. They were the ones that there were people of interest, and immediately TMZ put out that it was a person that was from Yo Gotti's camp, one of his managers, one of his record label executives, and that dude even ended up getting looked at and everything. They tried him, and he was looking at a whole lengthy list of trouble that he had to go through for doing all that setup stuff to Dolph from Yo Gotti's orders that he placed. And even with Blac Youngsta, the fact that they brought Blac Youngsta on because of the fact that he was willing to beef with whoever. They told him that Yo Gotti would give him the money that he gave him to sign only and if only he ended up going after Young Dolph and tried to do a setup with him. And that's why when he ran up on Dolph's Sprinter van in Charlotte, he didn't even know, he didn't even have the right info. Like, he was a crash test dummy at that point. So, and even Dolph said in the interview that one of their mans ended up having to get picked up off the ground from that whole situation. So it wasn't like the PRE didn't do anything about it. PRE got right on it and they hit one of the CMG guys, but Blac Youngsta and them ended up taking off, and that dude that they got with the fourth suspect was with them the whole entire time. Like, if you look at everything from when Blac Youngsta was turning himself in for that, you will see that same dude with him, because they were represented by the same dude. And it's the same guy that Straight Drop and them hired. Like, where did you think Straight Drop got the money from to get that guy? Blac Youngsta and Yo Gotti and CMG was the ones who was trying to recruit him at that time, because he already had cut ties with Key Glock and Dolph, and Key Glock was mad about that whole situation, that he was even, like, he was friends with Straight Drop, and then now, like, all of this happens, and he kind of got caught up in the mix. If you really pay attention and look at it, it all has to come back to CMG one way or another, and that's just due to the fact that they have a lengthy history of beefing. Like, all of the artists from CMG, they don't mess with PRE. And they all live in the same city in Memphis. Like, that's crazy to think that it could be two big groups like that, where if they would have came together, look at how much money they would have made. But the thing is that Dolph already noticed early on that CMG and him, they don't move the same. They're not making the same type of boss moves, you know, because Yo Gotti was so thirsty to sign Dolph and get rid of the two artists that he already had, because he was actually sneak dissing them behind their back. And when Dolph noticed that, he was like, that's the first time I met Yo Gotti. And he knew right then and there that Yo Gotti was trying to sign him, but he threw his other people under the bus. And those guys were actually supposed to be part of Yo Gotti's family. Like, he was quick to switch up on him so quick, just when he seen another come up, another lick that happened. But he didn't really care about Dolph, and Dolph knew that. And that's why he didn't sign with Yo Gotti. He said, no, why would I sign with you when I'm already doing it my way, doing it the right way, and getting, like, as much money? He didn't need Yo Gotti. And so Yo Gotti was mad that Dolph knew that he didn't need Yo Gotti, and so there was no reason for him to actually sign anything. He was getting more money anyway. So it's like, if you look at it, Dolph was the bigger boss just because of the mentality he had, the moves he was making, the way he moved was, and the things that he was doing, the networking and the partnerships that he was making. It was going to get him way further than Yo Gotti trying to finesse him by just signing him once and trying to take a cut off of everything. And so that's why Dolph made that decision, and it really got Yo Gotti mad. But then like a couple days later, a couple weeks later, come to find out that Dolph actually smashed Yo Gotti's baby mama, and that's the main reason that targeted him to actually get ran up on, because Yo Gotti started sending his goons left and right. Every city Dolph went to, they try to show up and follow him. They go to Charlotte, boom, Yo Gotti's goons pull up, CMG tries to do something, attack, 100 shots, Dolph makes a song, he tries to do the diss, and then next thing you know, they go to LA, okay, Yo Gotti's manager pops out, one of his people that work for him, boom, he pops out, tries to do something, hit Dolph, and so on and on and on. And so every time since then, that's when all the problems had came up. And so in each and every time, everybody said, and it was like TMZ that first reported, it was always saying CMG affiliate, Yo Gotti's artist, Yo Gotti's this, Yo Gotti's that. So it had all their names written on it already. So they couldn't hide from the fact that there was the people who everybody was looking at when this whole thing happened a year ago with the Dolph situation. And all of Memphis is looking at it like, dang, why couldn't Yo Gotti just try to get his money his own way? Why did he have to go after this guy? Why was he so salty? Is it because he smashed his baby mama? Is it because he had more, like he didn't need him to sign and stuff like that? Because that's the way that Dolph explained it. He says that's exactly what happened. And so when you go back and look at all the interviews, when you go back and look at all the songs and everything about how they talked about each other, you would just go and see that there were definitely some tensions, but ultimately the first move in the streets was made by Yo Gotti, because he just got so emotional that he knew he couldn't do anything himself. So he tried to send one of his crash test dummies to go do something. But if he had did it himself, then he would have ended up being the one who could have ended up got the bad luck out of the situation and got himself hit up. Or it was the fact that he was going to end up getting himself in trouble. So he decided to let one of the crash test dummies do it. And that dude ended up having all that stuff happen to him. And so when you really look at it, was that all worth it? Because at the end of the day, now it's like tainting a legacy. The people in Memphis don't even mess with Yo Gotti no more. Like nobody in Memphis actually is fans of CMG or Yo Gotti unless they from their exact hood. And that's just because they got everybody in their own hood, like scared to make sure that they don't turn against them. So other than that, everybody else in Memphis is PRE, or they're just straight up Young Dolph fans, and that's it, point blank, period. So at the end of the day, if you really look at it, it's like when they leave all that legacy and everything behind, the city of Memphis is claiming that Young Dolph was the king of Memphis and not Yo Gotti. And that's really what the fans say, the people say, the streets speak that, the community speak that, and that's just the way it is. And so based off of all that, you just got to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and come back for the next update. And make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.